I'm kind of talking to him, and then he, starts asking me more questions, and finally we get to a little bit more of a bigger picture of what I did. And then he said, I want to ask you a question. He's like, when you get to the end of your life, you're going to look back at all that you did. He said, what do you think at this point, if you had to sum up all that you've learned from what you did, what would you say? What have you taken away? And this is on the way back from Guatemala, and I said, if you would have asked me that last week, I would have been a typical 26-year-old and been like, oh, I don't know, and I would have said like 10 answers that probably didn't even make sense and what I really meant to say, and then I would be like, I don't know, I'm still learning. I said, but after this week, I got a lot more clarity. And I said, ultimately, I just want to do what I'm called to do in every place that I'm in. And I said, I just want to be able at the end of my life, if I look back at everything that I did, I can do exactly what Elias did and say, I can die now because I did what I was called to do. And what I was called to do was preach the word. And what I was called to do was tell people that the kingdom of God is near. And what I was called to do was love God and love people. And I don't care exactly what I did to do that, but in all that I do, I just want to say that I did that well. And at the end of this passage with the 72, it's really cool because it actually talks about when they returned. And I want to read it. It says, the 72 returned with joy, which is also cool because I was reading a commentator on this, and he said, isn't it awesome that all 72 returned and they were the lamb among wolves? So they made it. It says, the 72 returned with joy, saying, Lord, even the demons are subject to us in your name. They're stoked. They're like, man, we went out, even the demons fled. And Jesus said to them, I saw Satan fall like lightning from heaven. Behold, I have given you authority to tread on serpents and scorpions and over all the power of the enemy, and nothing shall hurt you. Nevertheless, get this, do not rejoice in this, that the spirits are subject to you, but rejoice that your names are written in heaven. And I love that because Jesus is like, that's awesome what you were able to do. That's awesome what you can do in my name. There's so much more even that you can do in my name. But that's not what you should get caught up rejoicing in. Rejoice that your name is in heaven. And so, friend, the person beside you is going to be called to something different than you're going to be called to. Everyone's assignment is different. Not everyone is going to spend 40 years of their life literally translating the Bible, telling of the generations of the fame of the Lord. Yours is going to look different in how you're going to do that. But Jesus says, don't get caught up in how you're doing it. Don't get caught up in exactly what you're doing. Just get caught up in the fact that God knows your name and that you're being faithful to him. I think so many times we overcomplicate exactly what we're going to do. You can leave conferences like this and be like, okay, now what? What am I called to? What job am I supposed to take? What city am I supposed to move in? And friend, I just want to free you of the stress of the what and the this and the that and the where, and just say wherever, however, whatever, I'm doing it for the glory of God. Wherever, however, I'm doing it to say I got the job done. I prepared the way and I preached the word. Like I said, I always have a honey story. I think sometimes kids just say it better. And so just to simplify this message, I actually want to let my 5-year-old self preach to y'all. So I have a video.
Go up there, and we want to stay until Jesus comes. When he comes tomorrow, that's great, Lord, and hip hip hooray. I'm saying that this is my heart, and I'm not, and I'm